Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's time for the VooDoo Chef Podcast, where we will discuss all things voodoo from the VooDoo Studios located right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. So to all my booties out there, if you're looking for nothing but a good time, this is the place to be. Call your friends, knock on the neighbor's door, and let them know it's time to party like a rock star for the next hour. Join me and my guests and learn to voodoo like we do as we discuss our faves and the voodoo that we use. I'll put our guests on the spot as we ask for their top 3, and make sure and listen as we discuss some of our favorite war stories from the kitchens we've worked in. Sit back, grab a tall glass of your favorite libation, and enjoy this episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast.
What's going on, Voodies? Yet another episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast, and tonight we've got some badass culinarians joining us, so I'm so glad you're here. I got to tell you, though, last night, this is the last night that you can order this lovely shirt right over my shoulder. We brought it back just for Father's Day. This is the last day that you will be able to order this in order to receive it in time for Father's Day. So jump on VooDooChef.com, grab one of the 2 bundles, take your choice, pick the one you want, and get rocking and rolling. If you have not been on the Facebook page lately, we have a fundraiser going on right now. It's going to run through the whole month of June. We set a goal of $5,000. At the time we're recording this, only 3 days into that fundraiser, we've already hit 25% of that mark. Hopefully you're looking at it right now and you're saying goal of 5,000, they got 7,000 in there. Great. Keep fucking hitting that donate button. We got to send kids to school. We got to feed those in need. Big Eddie C, man. All the garbage is out of the way. How the hell you doing, man?
Not bad. Happy Memorial Day to everybody.
Yep, we're recording this on Memorial Day, and we got to thank our guests for coming in on a national holiday and hanging out with us. With that said, you got your drink?
Did I wear the same shirt last week? Because I think I've been rotating the same 3 shirts.
You are a Buccaneer shirt, and look at this. I've got my Buccaneer solo cup with my pretentious ice cubes.
Look
Do you
at
see that?
Perfect squares.
My pretentious ass ice cubes for my Jack Daniels in my plastic Buccaneer cup. What the fuck? It's Memorial Day, right? Yeah, we'll just empty another bottle. We'll blame it on quarantine.
There you go.
So, hopefully by the time we're hearing this, we're into the month of June. That's the scheduled air date for this, June. And we are back to some sense of normalcy, being out and about, getting around. Eddie C, since the time this is aired, we've seen our first live sporting match air with Brady and some left-handed golf dude go against Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning in a 4.5-hour golf match. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Did you catch it? I didn't catch it.
Yeah, we did see some of that. It was pretty interesting, but, it's not football. The highlight was when Charles Barkley was dogging Tom Brady, and on that very hole, Tom Brady hits it into the hole from like 150-some yards out, and he's suck on that, Charles. And I thought that was, just that competitive spirit. I'm so glad that's coming to Tampa Bay.
I saw he ripped the ass of his pants. That was about it.
Of who?
Brady ripped the ass of his pants.
Yeah, he said he was, overextending that stroke. That's effort, and that's what happened. He overexerted himself.
Is that what it's called? Okay.
Yeah, whatever, man. He better rip some motherfucking pants all up and down the goddamn Buccaneer field. That's all I got to say.
He can rip all the pants he wants if they win some more games than they did last year.
Yeah, you know what? You gotta love it that we've got all these primetime games. I hear like there's only like 2 1:00 games or some shit like that. Thank God. It's hot down here, and people don't realize that. I have people tell me all the time, "Oh, I like the heat." Yeah, but you don't live down here. When you live here, it's different. So, we got a big show, Eddie C. We've got 2 amazing chefs with us tonight. I think we just jump right to it.
Do it.
Let's Look at this. I've got so many damn computers up here. I hate not being in person. I got to work all these different technology things.
That sucks.
We're way underdressed, Eddie C. When you meet this first guest, Chef Jacqui Preschinger, dressed to the nines. Look at this.
Wow.
Chef, what's going on?
I woke up like this.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so great to see you both.
You have no idea how excited I am. You and I are longtime friends, and you've entered a different position. I've entered a different position. It's so nice just to see you and hear your voice, and I can't wait to hear all the exciting things you're doing.
Well, great. Hopefully I don't disappoint, but there is a lot going on, and it's great to catch up. And you look
Well, I'm
great.
going to tell you, we're quarantine dressed. I hope that's okay. And I'm sitting here in VooDoo Studios. Eddie's in his office. So you got to tell me. I want to go back to the beginning, if that's okay. I want to introduce people to my friend Jacqui Preschinger, not just the role you're in now. So let's talk about first of all, getting up to the CIA, because I think that's the first start. The Culinary Institute of America. Tell us about your journey to get there, and then what happened when you were actually attending.
Sure. Okay. Well, we are going to go way back then.
No, that's only like 4 years. You haven't graduated that long ago.
Weeks ago.
Seems like it for sure. Well,
Wait, Jacqui, I have to tell you, there's some rules to the podcast.
Okay.
When we get to trivia, there's no cheating,
Okay.
and drinks are A-okay through the entire podcast.
I'm ready. I'm in.
Good. They're almost mandatory. So tell us, what made you want to go to culinary school? How'd you get up to the Culinary Institute of America, and what was that like? Because we have a lot of foodies out there. Those are the VooDoo chefs, foodies. We have a lot of foodies out there who are foodies and didn't really go to culinary school. So enlighten us, share with us.
All right. Well, I'll give you the real deal story too. I guess it started way back. My uncle is actually a chef in Switzerland, and my grandfather was a baker in England. Now, I did not get to grow up with either of them, but I grew up with two very hardworking entrepreneurial parents, which meant I had to start cooking a lot at home at a very young age, and always enjoyed it. And then I think, then it went into, I went into a family consumer science class in middle school, which is,
We call those Becky home eckies here.
Becky home eckie. I did it and I loved it. And then I went through and continued on, and then went into my high school's culinary class.
Where was that at, Jack?
That was in Nashua, New Hampshire. So
Oh.
suburb of Boston. Mm-hmm. And so I went to Nashua High, which now they've split, so it's Nashua High South technically. And I did the culinary program there, which was wonderful, and then had a part-time job working in a local bakery. And then was thinking about what was the next step. And now I always knew that my next step was going to be the Culinary Institute of America. But I ended up graduating a little bit early. And so I wanted to stay a little closer to home. So I did go to college in Boston first. And I went through the culinary program at Newbury College in Boston, and then went right after that to the CIA. But I think one of the funny things was in 7th grade, we had to take sort of a career aptitude test. And when I got my results back, this is hand to God. When I got my results back, it said that I should either be a chef or an undertaker. So,
Well, in the military, the morticians and the chefs, same people, right?
I think so. I had a great time, at my first college as well in Boston, and did an internship at a hotel in New Hampshire, which was fabulous. And then after that, went directly on when I was 19 to the Culinary Institute of America, which is in Hyde Park, New York, so Hudson Valley.
So you were how old when you went to Hyde Park?
19.
So it's kind of funny. A lot of high schoolers coming out are 19,
Mm-hmm.
but you actually came in with a degree, which a lot of people do at the CIA. It's their second career, second field of study. And you kind of were like that oddball. You were a second degree, but also still that youngin'.
Yes, yes. So, so of course I showed up on my first day and moved into the dorms, and instantly thought I made a huge mistake because everyone there was just so focused and so professional, and so was I, but I was just so green that I was really intimidated. But then I took comfort in the fact that everyone there was so excited about food. So
What would you say was the average age of your incoming class?
I would think it was probably it was probably 50% from high school, and the others were military transitioners or career changers. So I think the average age was probably around 21, 22.
Well, that's not too bad.
No, no.
And then you're right. When you get in an arena where everybody has the same mindset and the same passion, that kind of sets a little comfort. But it's all still new,
Yes.
and a lot of times we forget that we're all the FNG because we only focus on ourselves. Jacqui, do you know what the FNG is?
I have an idea, but fill me in. So
Fucking new guy. Fucking new guy.
That's where I thought we were going. I didn't know if we were really going there. So yes.
No, I thought you knew me. I thought we were friends.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I thought we were friends. And just so you know, I'm going to let everybody in on a little secret of ours later that you might get mad at me for.
Okay. All right.
One of our guilty pleasures that we share.
Oh, I know exactly what it is. I know exactly. I'm excited.
All right. So 2 years at the CIA. What was your major?
So I did baking and pastry arts at the CIA. So.
And that's not as full of a program as the culinary arts. Is that a true statement?
There's more. I mean, when I went, there was about a 1.5 year waiting list to get into the baking and pastry arts program at the time. And because they only ran one incoming class versus 4 incoming classes of culinary students.
And that's about 18 to 25 students at a time?
Yes, correct. Yes,
That's
18.
And you know, people wonder what sets the CIA apart. First of all, if you've never been there, don't open your mouth about it, because just stepping foot on campus is an experience in itself. Forget about attending school. Just being there it's one of those places on earth that you have to go. But then the fact that you're in a class of 18 people and they're not chasing people down to say, let's run as many people as we can through. Let's keep this as pure and true as we can. So much so, Jacqui, you have to wait 1.5 years until you can come in. That speaks volumes about the education you're going to get there and their dedication to making sure they put out the best. And so what was it really like there?
It was intense. I mean, I was studying like crazy. So I think, most of the time our school day began at around 6:30 in the morning. It was with a very strict attendance policy too. So if you missed a day, your grade went down a letter grade. If you missed 2 days, 2 letter grades, and then you're also out of the class. So any scholarship monies, other things that were going on. And plus it was great, at least for me, because it was so competitive. So everyone else was pushing each other to be the best that they could possibly be and to get the best externship and that kind of thing. So, I had a great time, and some of the chef instructors I still talk to this day. I think one of the other great things was that they also offered lifetime job placement assistance. So that was something that was really important to me going into any role, that I knew that no matter where I went throughout the country or throughout the world, that the CI would be there for me to help me find my next role.
And to have that brand, because it is a brand that backs you up. I mean, it's insane. I mean, we're not taking away anything from any other schools.
No.
But they are at the forefront, and for a reason, for a damn good reason.
Right. I mean, and anything you can think of. I mean, if it's 3D food printing, if it's, any piece of equipment that's not even out yet, they test up at the CIA. So it was certainly exposed to a lot.
My favorite part of my tour, one of my tours at the CIA, was going into Larry Lopez's office and going into the secret cabinet and tasting the scotch that he had hidden in there, and him saying, "Yeah, now don't you tell anybody."
Oh, I love it. I actually spoke to him the other day. What a wonderful guy.
Please give him my best. And how sad that, this is how long it's been since we've talked. Noble Noble Massey did a lot of work with us when we were tandeming up and doing things at the schoolhouse. Just such a great man, and he's definitely going to be missed. I actually had a autograph rolling pin. He autographed a rolling pin, and I had that, and I actually gave that to one of the baking and pastry students you and I placed over at the CIA, and it just meant the world to him. So just a great, solid dude.
Absolutely. One of the certified master bakers, and he was actually my first instructor at CIA. And made
I'm
such
so
an
sorry.
on myself in my class that one of my graduating classmates actually named a bakery after his classroom. So Bake Shop 6 in Pennsylvania, if you're over there.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool. All right, Jacqui. So you go through CIA, you graduate obviously at the top of your class because you're a CBA. You do know what a CBA is, right?
I don't.
Certified badass. And all these letters that that the ACF gives us after our name, I have CBA, but that's okay. We'll talk about that next. That's coming up. You leave CIA, you do an amazing, what an intern, externship, whichever one you guys call it. Where did you do that at?
I did it at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Boston. I knew I wanted to go into hotels, and again, I still spoke to my chef this week from 25 years ago. Was he a CIA alum as well? He was from the Ritz in Paris. So that was a whole other learning opportunity. The typical stereotypical French chef, he actually did it for my first 6 months that I worked there. So, until I was official. Hey, quick 30 seconds or less. The importance of the book education, the importance of the practical application, more importantly, the two coupled together. 30 seconds. Oh gosh. Exactly. That is so hard. That is so hard. But I certainly think that it's an equal mix. I think especially for those who want to pursue going further in their career and going into management and any of those other things. But it's one thing to read a book, but I've learned how to do a Linzer tort from 5 different chefs throughout my culinary training and my externships, and mine now is completely different. But if you don't know the history and everything that goes into any of those recipes and where we're going and keeping up to date on on the future of food, then you're just putting out plates, and that's not who I am. That's awesome.
I gotta ask. I read a quote recently. We probably did it on another podcast. I can't remember. It said that cooking was art, baking was science. Does that sound accurate? Yeah, I mean, I would think so in a way. Certainly, with the chemical reactions that you need behind baking, and then also the precise measurements. Once you put something, a cake or something in the oven, you can't fix it. If you're doing another dish, you can kind of play around with seasonings or things or whatever. But I would say that. But I think baking is art and science. Certainly, I think knowing the metric system is a help as well when you're baking.
Bakers are definitely the smarter of the breed. We'll say that. But I have a buddy. He puts it a very unique way. A savory chef takes a piece of chicken and just makes it taste like a different piece of chicken. They take a steak, they make it taste like a different piece of steak. A baker takes ingredients and makes a whole brand new item. Right. And that is definitely an art, and you definitely have to know the science behind all the reactions and the ratios. Like I said, definitely the smarter breed. And, we just take some chicken and apply some heat and we're good. But baking is tough, and I commend you for doing it. Speaking of baking,
yes,
you hold a world record, do you not?
I did create the longest cake in America.
Are you saying it's been beaten?
No, well, I mean, I haven't looked it up in quite some time, but it was at the time it was the longest cake in America. It was for I had a pastry shop and wine bar, and it was 567 feet from the front door of my pastry shop all the way to the front door of City Hall for my town's sesquicentennial, so their 150th birthday.
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Where'd you find an oven that big?
Well, we actually prepared it in 3-foot sections, and then we iced it all together with 2,000 pounds of icing. Yeah, it was a little crazy. But I will say, if anyone wants to beat my record, first of all, I did chocolate cake with vanilla icing because that's my favorite. But trying to keep chocolate crumbs out of vanilla icing for like over a football field is a little bit tough. So I would say, if you're gonna beat me, invite me. I will help you. But also go vanilla cake, vanilla icing, or chocolate cake, chocolate
you know,
icing.
funny you say that, Jacqui. I was going to throw a challenge to you right now.
Okay.
I challenge you to join me and jointly beat your record for the Voodoo Chef Foundation. I think that would be cool. I think it would be fun. You let me know if you're down.
I am so down. I also have some ideas of other things that we could do. Because I
This
think
is how it starts, and we get in trouble, and we create too much work.
Well, I'm in. But I think what I learned from my attempt at another record is that if you can stay away from anything that's baked, that's better. So I have some ideas that I can share with you around that too. So
Well, let's chit chat. I'd love to talk about that. Have you on board to help us raise some money for the foundation. I think that would be super cool. But I want to know about Jacqui, because Jacqui, you left CIA, but ultimately you and I met because you went to work for the CIA. You had such belief in the school that taught you that you wanted to open those doors to other folks, and you became a recruiter. I think that's super cool, and what a unique way to give back. Can you talk about that time?
Sure. Well, it was great. So, after working in industry, I had worked as a culinary educator in my spare time, while I also had my bakery and in restaurants and hotels and things. And then there was a time when I was going to move down to sunny Florida. And coming down to Florida.
By that she means hot as fuck Florida.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I moved from New Hampshire down and sold my pastry shop. And when I did, that's when I connected back through the CI Alumni Association, was talking about my move. Now, that's when the opportunity came up for me to work with them, which I did for 10 years. And ultimately, my role was Associate Director of Admissions. So, but I kind of looked at it in a different way. I wasn't just sort of pushing paper in the office. I was out there, and I know you know this too, with my sleeves rolled up and, doing anything that I could within the culinary community to meet people and let them know that there was this experience out there that they could get this world-renowned culinary education. So it was very fulfilling for me to be able to help the students and to help them find these scholarships and to speak with their parents and get them up there. But even more so now, it's been so rewarding, and I know that you understand this as an educator, that now I see that all of those graduates doing what they're doing. And when I walk into whatever restaurant or business or whatever it is where they are, I mean, it's tears and hugs, and it really just gives me the chills to have had that effect on students' lives. So
you say that, and I'm just going to give you one case in point. I had this young man. He didn't go to the CIA. He went to a different school. All good, as long as they go to school. You're famous for saying you need to kick the tires. You need to kick the tires and determine what's the right one for you. And I stole that from you because it's so true. But this young man, I'll never forget. He came in direct from middle school. We were just a school of progression. His mom says, my son's going to be in your class. He's a smart ass. I don't know if you'll be able to handle him. I said, which one is he? She points him out. I said, what's his name? I said, hey, come here. He comes over and I said, hey, your mom says you're kind of a smart ass. He's like, yeah. I said, that's all right. Doesn't bother me because I'm bigger than you. I'm badder than you. And I'm not afraid to go back to jail. Your boy's face just went deadpan. He had no clue because at the end of the day, he was just a big mama's boy. He was a big puss mama's boy. It was hysterical. But he went on to school. Now he's back. He went to work for all the big hotels, the big name restaurants, and he opens his own catering company now. And he's like the only Jewish caterer in town. He has a kosher kitchen. And during this whole crisis, he freaked out. He didn't know what to do. No business, he reinvents, and he's making bagels, and he's selling I remember the first week he did it. He goes, "Hey, we're making bagels now. You want some?" And I'm like, "Fuck, now I got to buy some bagels." I buy the bagels, and they were so damn good. Now he doesn't even call me because he's selling so many bagels. He doesn't even have time to pick up the phone, and he's just destroying it. And you're right. You get that feeling of just pride and pride for them. You know, we're just part of that. We're just such a small part in that bigger part of their life. And you're just so proud for them and their success. And it's amazing. And you touched it at a different level. You know, I did 20 years, and I'll never forget you pulling up the first time. You're not a Becky Homecki, and some of these schools they would send us marketing reps. They would send us Becky Homeckis. You're a chef. You met me right when I got there. You were there before me. You get out of the car, and you're in your chefs, and you got your T-shirt on, your clogs, and you grab your coat, and you're like, all right, where are we going? What are we doing today? And I was just like, this is for real. I fucking like this. And, you know, we killed it for your entire time. And I can't thank you enough for taking the time to help me promote our kids up into your school. And they are doing amazing things.
Yes. Well, the pleasure is mine. And, you know, I have just so much respect for you as an educator as well, because I saw the transformations from meeting some of those students as freshman and sophomore, and then you know, seeing them then either, you know, potentially come to the CIA or graduate from the CIA. But the transformation that they had going through your program, just Rockstar.
That's very kind of you, Jacqui. But let's talk about the ones where you go, no, fuck that. I don't want that one. No, fuck that one over. That never really happened. That never really happened, but that would have been funny as shit. So Jacqui, 10 years with CIA, and ultimately it came time when you left. But you got the most badass job on the planet right now, if I do say so. Tell everybody who you're working for now if they can't see the little tag down there on the bottom right, because it doesn't say Jacqui Pressinger. It says American Culinary Federation. Tell us what you're doing.
Sure. Well, I'm actually celebrating my 4-year anniversary this week.
Holy cow.
Already with the American Culinary Federation, the ACF. So I work as Director of Strategic Partnerships, and for those who aren't aware, American Culinary Federation is the oldest and largest association of professional chefs in North America. And so there's over 150 chapters throughout the U.S., also the Caribbean, also as far as Guam and Korea. And it's a not-for-profit, and it's all about supporting the profession of chef. So from culinary students all the way through the retired chefs.
And you said oldest. It goes back to 1929,
Correct.
And you currently have over 17,000 members.
Right.
And in the United States, if you want that alphabet behind your name, if you want that CEC, that Certified Executive Chef, ACF is the only organization that can give you those distinguished titles. If you don't have it from them, you're what we would call a working chef. Someone is hiring you in the position, you're not really credentialed. True statement?
True, yeah, there's 16 levels all the way to Certified Master Chef.
And you have savory and baking.
Yes, correct.
And let me clarify that one more time, just for people out there, because, you know, I'm sure you heard this as a college recruiter. Students would ask me all the time, if I go to culinary school, what does that get me? It gets you a piece of paper, just like it gets anybody else. And that piece of paper really doesn't mean a goddamn thing, except for you did however much time required to get that piece of paper. Hopefully you're taking advantage of the skills and the knowledge that come with that paper, but then you have to apply it, and that's what makes you the badass. So when you get that paper, you're getting nothing more than the paper. However, those pieces of paper are what make you eligible to qualify for different levels of the certifications through the ACF. So the only ones that can really give you those titles of chef, sous chef, chef de cuisine, certified executive chef, all the way up to certified master chef is the ACF. So don't confuse going to school with getting your credentials. True statement, correct?
Yes, that is correct, because we're looking at education, and then also there, once that's been approved, then there's written and practical exams from the ACF as a third party. And then there's continued education that has to be met in order to re-up these credentials. So
Correct.
if you earn certified executive chef, you're technically not ACF certified forever. In order to keep that credential, you need to keep up with your continuing education hours and so forth. And so, like you're saying, it really is something that is a goal to be earned, and that means something out in the industry as well.
And just so anybody out there, before we talk more about ACF, if somebody's already going, oh my God, I need to get certified, where can we find this information? Where do we find ACF on the internet, on social media? Can you throw those out? Because I always seem to forget to ask for that.
Yeah, sure. Well, I would say there's a couple different. First is acfchefs.org is sort of our information hub where you'll be able to find anything about ACF events and certification and publications and all those types of things. But I think what many people may not know yet who are tuning in is that there's also wearechefs.com. And that's sort of the information and news hub. It's kind of the cool.
Are we hip and cool that it's W-E, the letter R? Or is it W-E-A-R-E chefs?
A-R-E. A-R-E.
A-R-E. So we're quasi-cool.
We're
grammatically correct cool.
That's it. That's it.
It's always cool.
And then, of course, on any of the other.
I heard that, Ed.
Instagram or is ACF Chefs, and Facebook is ACF Chefs. But I would also recommend for those who are tuning in who may not have had a touch with ACF recently, give us a fresh new look too. We've been doing some really killer things over these past few years, and I think everyone will be really impressed with all that's going on.
I think over the past 4 years, there's been a lot of amazing thing happening with the ACF, Jacqui. So you called me one day and you said, hey, I'm going to be hanging out in New Orleans. How cool would the name VooDoo in New Orleans be? And then, overwhelm comes for you, comes for me, and we lose track. Tell us all the cool shit you get to do with ACF, because you're quasi the face of the ACF and you're out just educating the world. And what I mean by that is hanging out at all the cool parties with all the badass chefs.
Yeah, well, that is pretty cool. So one of the things I do is overseeing sort of educational strategy, and that obviously touches on our conferences and conventions. So selecting the speakers who can give us, what's new, what's coming, what's trending, what do the chefs need to know, has been a really cool experience. So, we've had chefs, like Iron Chef Morimoto, Marco Pierre White. We brought him to Orlando last year. That was pretty insane. And so many other.
I do have to throw out one name. You did bring out Carlos Villanueva to one of your events to do demos. And he is a graduate of someone that we all know. Just saying. Just wanted to throw that out there.
He is an amazingly talented chef who who I have kept in touch with these years, and his plating demonstration that he did at the ACF National Convention was just awesome. Just the innovation and the creativity was so well received and just impressive overall. Talented
beyond his years. Just an amazing young man.
Yes.
And he's not so young anymore. Yeah. He's fucking 40 now, some shit like that. I don't know.
Oh, man.
I don't know about you guys, but it's fucking Florida hot today. I'm just gonna say that. Yes. So Jacqui, you do a lot of cool stuff, but you've been telling us all about work. We like to play a couple games, and if it's okay, we'd like to ask you 5 rando questions that we just ask people. And, I'd like to say they're the same every time, but the rules of the podcast, they change,
Okay.
But they really have no point or meaning. There's no right or wrong answer except on 2 of them. And we've actually had to exit people from the podcast because they answered wrong.
Uh-oh, no stress.
No stress. But it's just, grins and giggles. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. I love the red, white, and blue, by the way. Blue. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke, but if I can go Coke Zero. That's even better.
Hey, as long as you don't say Pepsi, we're all good. Unless you're at Taco Bell, then you really don't have a choice. Because there's no choice and it's Taco Bell, Pepsi is acceptable at Taco Bell.
Yes. Well, I always think, whenever they say, is Pepsi okay? Can you imagine if someone had to say that to you all the time?
About your brand.
Yes.
Is Pepsi okay? No, not really. But I'll drink it.
Pepsi's okay.
But I'll drink. You like the real sugar Pepsi, Ed.
I don't drink them anymore, but when I did, I like throwback Pepsi and Mexican Coke.
Mexican
Real sugar.
Coke.
Yeah, the corn syrup, not down with it, dude. Never liked it.
It's not one of the 5 food groups, not technically, but not really. Jacqui, do you know what the 5 food groups are?
Me?
Do you know what the 5 food groups are?
His 5 food groups.
No.
Butter, bacon, caffeine, carbs, and bourbon.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can do a world's challenge around that, I think we win.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I'll figure it out.
We'll make it happen. All right. Question number 3. How do you eat your steak?
I am a rare steak person.
Ooh.
But I think it also depends on the cut. I will say.
Oh, there goes the culinarian. It depends on the cut, of course. All right. How do you eat your gooseneck bottom round?
Oh, my God.
Braised forever and a day, right?
Oh, my gosh.
All right. If you could have dinner with any one person, living or deceased, who would it be?
Oh, this is so tough. Well, I mean, I don't want to cheese out on you, but I've really been missing my parents during this quarantine. So I'm going to have to go with my mom and dad. And they are like a unit. So I will just say like mom, dad, like
that is super cool.
I've never seen
just more respect for you right now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
My answer is hardcore mom. So,
Good.
it is what it is. We got rid of our political question because we would say it's not political, but it always turned into being fucking political.
Yeah.
So we just like, don't fucking do it. Because I really don't like talking politics. I don't watch it on TV. I don't watch the fucking news. I watch reality TV. We need a new question, number 5. So here it goes. Brand new. Who's your favorite reality TV star?
Oh my gosh. Well, that's terribly difficult because now I'm going back and forth of like people that I actually know from the culinary competition shows.
Oh, no. We said star, not competitor. Not that they didn't perform well, but they're not the star of the show. So like if you're thinking friends of yours that were on Hell's Kitchen or something like that,
Right.
Don't really count. Survivor, the contestants are the show. So I don't know. Whoever the fuck you want. I'm making rules up now. I said there's no rules.
It's really tough because my guilty pleasure during this quarantine has been 90 Day Fiance, and that's like the worst show on.
Can you believe fucking Lana exists? What the fuck is up with that? Not that I watch that show.
They paid for her to come out of her hole.
I mean, I still don't believe it. I know I've kind of seen it.
How much did he pay for that?
I am waiting for the tell-all, and I have done a good job because I heard that there was 10 hours of leaked Zoom footage of the 90 Day Fiance tell-all, and I have not watched it. So.
Oh, well, shit, don't tell me that. I've watched everything on Netflix twice, so I'm dying for something new.
So I don't know. For reality, I don't watch a lot of the food shows, so that kind of like X's those out.
It's Big Ed, isn't it? Big Ed and Rose.
Not me.
Not that I watch that show.
Your storyline. And I do enjoy how many of these reality folks are in Florida too. So I always have my eyes open wherever I go. Wherever I'm in public.
Yeah, but why can't the bitch with the like cool colored hair live in Florida? Because then, if she's walking down the street, you're like, oh fuck, there she is. I can't see. So I'm getting old, Jacqui. I wear glasses, but I don't wear glasses. So if they could be standing right next to me, I wouldn't know who they are.
I don't know. Well, have you released it on any of your podcasts? Who's your favorite reality show star?
Reality TV show star? I'd probably have to say Jeff Probst. I love Survivor.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's just the first thing that came to my mind. I really love Survivor. I've watched most of them, and it's Maybe we could say Vince McMahon because, that's not, I don't know. Is that reality TV or is that sports entertainment?
It's real.
It is real. It is real. My grandma said so. So we still haven't.
I didn't get kicked off the island, right? I'm still here.
You're still here, but we need an answer. You got to tell us who's your favorite reality. Jacqui, just make some shit up. It don't matter.
I will then. Then I will go cooking, and I will go with Manit, only because she is a lovely, lovely, lovely woman.
Who did you say?
Manit, who's on Chopped and
okay.
I don't know that person.
I will send you. She's an amazing Indian chef, but she also is a restaurateur. She owns a bunch of restaurants and breweries in Nashville.
Oh, very cool. If we were going cooking, I'd have to say Alex. I can't say her last name. Butter. I call her Butter.
Alex.
Yes, okay.
Nice.
The chick that owns the restaurant Butter is the chef of Butter or some shit.
Yeah,
I just like her. I don't care. She just says what she wants to say.
Is that it?
Yeah, her.
Monticelli.
Yeah, she just says what she wants to say, and I like that.
I like that about people too.
You and I don't seem to have a problem in that. None of us in this room seem to have a problem like that.
I like Scott Conant because he hates onions like me.
You like him because Vinny sells him wine.
Or he did. I don't know what he's been selling lately. He's been like, got to pivot, man. It's going to take at least 2 years to get back to the way it was. So it's rough going.
Jacqui, what's ACF saying on that and about the situation with the restaurants? This is going to come out the second week of June. Mm-hmm. So, we're kind of predicting that we'll be, at least in phase 3. But what's ACF saying?
Well, it's hard because of all the different governors and the different opening plans and those types of things too.
And it varies state by state.
Right. And then hopefully everyone behaves and it goes well. And then, it'll go nationwide. We have done some webinars just in support of the chefs because we know so many of our colleagues are unfortunately out of work or furloughed or their restaurants are closed or are closing. So we've done some things to hopefully add value to them, how to redo your resume and interview if you haven't done that in 10 or 15 years as a chef, and what are they looking for now. And, we've done some things on mental wellness because we know about the stress and the,
Are you guys offering a class on mental wellness? And
Yeah, well, we started it a few years ago, obviously with Anthony Bourdain's passing, and started really addressing suicide and mental wellness, starting at the convention a few years ago. But now we've been doing some webinars, so about the mind, body, spirit, soul. So everything from, eating well and healthy, which most chefs don't do because we're so busy and we're running around. And
are you talking about me again?
No. And also just, being able to admit if you're not okay and you need some help, or recognizing that in your staff members. So we don't have an answer for the COVID right now. We have a free certificate that's on our online learning center for anyone who wants to do it. That's just on upgraded sanitation.
We got a local chef here. He's a very big advocate for our industry, and he, from hours to the way we treat our employees. And he was on the podcast. His name's Greg Baker. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He just took a class and got certified in mental health first aid. And I thought that was super cool, and something super cool that's out there and something that's needed in our industry. He was talking about one of his buddies who has a system in place. Most people don't know what pre-shifts or alley rallies are if you're not in the industry, but it's a time we all get together to talk about what's going to happen that day. And when the employees come in, they have a color code. Every employee gets a color-coded card, a green, a yellow, and a red. And when they walk into work that day, they drop their card into a fishbowl. It doesn't have a name on it. It's just a colored card. And green means, I'm amped, I'm great, I'm having a good day. Yellow, I'm here. And red means, I'm not all together today. And in the pre-shift, they announced that, hey guys, keep in mind, be meaningful of everybody and what's going on. And, if you're not in our industry, I don't think you really get how intense it can be. Mm-hmm. And so through that simple little card check system, They didn't call out and say, hey, Frank's having a fucked up day. They just said, hey, everybody's not 100% today, so let's be mindful and kind of lift up our team and get everybody going. And I kind of thought that was kind of neato. And, I think we need to definitely call more awareness to that issue in every industry, not just our own. I mean, look at what the fuck's going on in the music industry, same as ours. And, we had the drummer for Queensryche on. He's talking about all the roadies, the setup crew, the lighting techs. They're all out of a job too. And it's tough. And we don't know when it's coming back. So are you guys posting information and updates about COVID?
Yeah, on the wearechefs.com page, there's a whole COVID section.
Wearechefs.com.
Mm-hmm.
You know me, so you'll get this, and most people who do know me will get this. When this is over, I'm jumping in with the girls. We're going to go get some cookies and coffee and hang out. Yes, I know we're getting wrapped up, and it's going to be late, but that's my life. Could you text me those websites, and I'll put them out on our Facebook page later, and we'll get those out over the next week, because I want to make sure we jump into our trivia. Now, my computers are acting funny today, so I gotta refer to my phone. But we play pointless pop culture trivia, and you know what? It's really fucking pointless, but it's fun. And we always bring in somebody, so I want to bring in somebody now. Again, too many computer controls. We're going to bring in somebody to compete against you, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to talk about him. This young man and I met somewhere around 2000. I don't know the exact fucking date because I don't know dates and time, but I remember him telling me, I want to be a chef. This is what I want to do. We were at Hillsborough High School at the time, and he said, I want to be a chef, and this is what I want to do. And I said, okay. And I said, if that's what you want to do, I'll send you to college. That's no big deal. Let's get this thing rolling. Something's going on with my thing. It says he's joining, but I don't see him coming in. 2 years into his school, I get an offer to go open a brand new program at another school. And I actually turned it down. I turned it down. And I said to the principal, I said, I can't do it. I made commitment to these certain families that I would help their children get to college. And if I come to your school, I kind of feel like I'm going back on that. Oh, he dropped. Let me text him. I told the principal, I said, I'd be feeling like I was being a turncoat and going against what I had promised these families, so I'm going to have to decline your job. And she goes, what if they could all come here? And I said, are you serious? She goes, wait, how many families was it? I said, 5 or 6. Oh yeah, we can't have them. They won't get transportation. They'd have to get here on their own. But if they can get here on their own, they can come to school here. And he is not jumping in here. Oh, there he is. And she says, if they can get here on their own, they can go to school here. And so Carlos Villanueva left Hillsborough High School and came over to Chamberlain High School, where he did his last 2 years of school, and just fucking destroyed it. Carlos, are you there? I mean, you got to get rid of that cheesy picture, homie. Let's see your face. What's going on, homie? We got you?
That's my favorite kind right there, just pitch black.
Pitch black, that's my favorite color, too. I don't know what's going on.
He's wearing an N95 mask, covers everything.
Carlos comes over, does 2 years at Chamberlain, qualifies for nationals 2 years in a row, wins number one, top student in the state of Florida. And he'll tell you the same story. He was all set to stay here in town and go to Johnson & Wales. But at the last minute said, fuck it, I'm going to CIA. And off he went. And I remember him bitching about how fucking cold it was. But sure enough, he destroyed it up there. Apparently he's a better chef than he is a Zoom meeting guy. But Carlos, what the fuck? Find some internet. What's up, old man? Can you hear us?
How you
Oh,
doing?
you're locking up. What's up with your Wi-Fi?
Upgrade from that 56K modem, damn it.
What's going on?
Your video's locked up, man. You're here with Jacqui Pressinger.
Am I on that?
Aw, I see his picture now.
Yeah, look how skinny he is.
That's what he gets for using the Cricket wireless there. Hi. Hi.
What an awesome surprise. I haven't seen him in years. That's
Yeah, but
awesome.
he's not there. I mean, it says his, I don't know what the fuck it says. Carlos, we're gonna throw you out. Hey, fix your connection and come back. So Jacqui, let's I was gonna save this for after when Carlos gets in. You know, let me just text him, use his damn phone. The future's now. Do people not know this?
Wake up and smell the decade, damn it.
There he is. He's back again. What's
All
up?
right. My God. Oh,
Are we good now?
Horrible
Dude.
internet.
What's
my
that?
God.
What's that shit on your face? I got tons of that stuff on my back. What is that?
It's called quarantine, man.
Looks like Luciano Pavarotti, man.
Dude, I know for a fact you're working. Hey, you're here with Jacqui Pressinger.
Hey, Jacqui.
Hi, how are you? I miss you.
Miss you too. Good to see you.
So Carlos doesn't know this yet, but he's definitely on our world record team. He doesn't know it yet, but he is, right?
It's voluntold.
Yeah.
No, that's Volin Love. That's Volin Love. That's what. So Carlos, real quick, you know, you're here to play pointless pop culture trivia, and it truly is pointless. But share with us, you know, you went to the Culinary Institute of America. You got your 4-year. You worked for the school in the fish room. You worked on the Certified Master Chef exams, and then you just went to work for some amazing fucking people. I know you're like me. This is an impossible task. Give us the 30-minute resume. You toured Spain. You toured Italy. You toured California. Who'd you work for? CMCs. Who are they?
So I worked for Olivier Andrini in Philadelphia. I worked for Tony Maws in Boston. I worked for Martin Berasategui out in San Sebastian. That's in Spain. A guy named Sergio Rola. He was in Madrid. Carlos Fuentes, which was in the south of Spain. And then recently, I spent 5 years in New York, back in New York, when I was at Cloud Catering, 3 years as the executive chef, and now the director of culinary operations for Puff and Stuff Catering. So 30 seconds.
Did you request that title? Culinary operations?
No, it was a director role, basically all the operations, but also with my culinary background, you know, really looking at, you know, utilizing my food skills. So
iCloud Catering, most famous person you catered for.
Oh shit.
First one
I guess
pops in your head.
I mean, it depends on who you consider. I mean, we catered for the Roots, Madonna, Martha Stewart, just to name a few.
Yeah, it's just a few, fucker.
I mean,
All right, Carlos. All right, so we're gonna play pop culture trivia. I'm gonna read a question, and what you will do if you know the answer, you simply shout your name. If you shout your name and I'm not done reading the question, I will stop, and you'll answer the question. And if you get it right, it means absolutely nothing. If you get it wrong, I will read the rest of the question, and then the other person will have a second to answer. Make sense? Yep. Eddie is the judge. He will determine who called in first, and there are only 2 rules. Number 1, no cheating. So, you know, Jacqui, you keep glancing down. Quit looking at your phone. I mean, it's just a game, fucker.
It's just
Hey, like we were going to say, look at the overachiever. It's the VooDoo Chef podcast. What are we going to say that has any importance other than
she's like,
possible dates of the McRib, you know?
What he worries about.
Wait. Jacqui's the one who sent me the product availability calendar for the McRib in the entire United States. So it's her guilty pleasure too. All right, so here we go. Again, pointless pop culture trivia. Again, we are playing for grins and giggles, and that's about it. So, question number one, and I'm not putting on my glasses, so you'll have to bear with me. He is known for his talents on the field and his power in spiking the football. He has performed as the White Tiger on The Masked Singer, is the 24/7 champion in the WWE, and will soon leave retirement to play tight end once again for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Carlos. Is it Gronkowski?
It is Rob Gronkowski.
Gronk.
You had me at The Masked Singer. I don't watch the show, so I was like, I don't know if he did that.
I don't either. I've never seen that show, not once. Not once, but Bret Michaels dressed up like a banana. What the fuck was that?
Nice.
And you know, I was writing this question. I can't believe all the little stupid shit this guy's doing to keep out there. He's the WWE champion. I mean, what the fuck? And 3-time champion coming back to hopefully get these Bucks back to the Super Bowl. And if you notice, Jacqui, you got Buccaneers in every screen except yours. See, there's mine.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you
seriously.
know where I'm from, right? I'm from New England.
So you're now a fan of the Buccaneers.
There you go.
All right.
You know, we almost traded up in the draft to get their coach.
Oh, Jesus.
Almost.
Carlos, second rule. Rule number 1, no cheating. Second rule, you got to have a cocktail.
Fair enough. Like right now.
Oh, man. All right, here we go. If I'm not mistaken, Ed, it's Carlos 1-0, correct?
Yes.
Pointless pop culture trivia question number 2. This Florida native began her career at the age of 13 on Broadway, but first gained attention as Cat Valentine on Nickelodeon's Victorious, only to continue on to pop singer stardom. Name this donut-licking singer of Thank You Next.
Jacqui.
Yes. That's Ariana Grande.
Yes, it is.
Correct.
There you go.
And you know what? Again, Angelina's like, who's going to get this question? I'm like, Carlos. And Jacqui hits a home run.
Of course.
All right, we're tied up. Question number 3. Dick Clark is a pop culture icon based on his radio and television host career. Best known for TV's American Bandstand. He helped us rock in the new year annually until his death in 2012. Who now hosts Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve?
Jacqui.
Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest is correct. Jacqui, you got to yell your name.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know if Carlos. I didn't know if he had the right to go first, so that's why I was just waiting.
I thought it was Mariah Carey. Who was on there?
Oh, you get
Who's that?
You get the gator claw for that.
Look at the Gator back scratcher. Only in Florida.
Seriously. Only.
All right, Carlos, you're down, man. You're
I know.
down. And this is a Tampa question. So Jacqui is kind of in the underdog category here. Carol Baskins, the owner of Big Cat Rescue right here in Tampa, Florida, is rumored to have killed her first husband back in 1997, although she was never convicted. This case has recently reopened thanks to Joe Exotic and the Netflix documentary entitled what?
Jacqui.
That's Tiger King.
That is Tiger King.
But I've been to Carol Baskin's Cat Rescue, so I.
Thank God you made it out alive.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Carlos, man, you're down.
Dude, things I don't watch on Netflix.
You got to get the next 2 here, homie.
All
All
right.
right. It's 3-1, right?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
here we go. Arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time. This 53-year-old has recently started posting training videos in preparation of a comeback.
Carlos.
Uh-oh.
There's only 2, so
Carlos.
Well,
it's got to be Tyson.
The answer is not Mike Tyson.
Then it's the other
Gotta
guy.
hear the whole question.
The question is, whose ear did Mike Tyson bite twice during a fight in 1997?
I know that one too.
Hopefully Jacqui gets it wrong and you get a shot.
Is it Holyfield?
It is Holyfield.
It is
Jacqui just
Holyfield.
won. We've never had a winner.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Man. Yeah.
Crushed it.
All right, we're going to read the last question for grins and giggles to see if anybody gets it because I love this person. All right, I'm going to name some facts about this person and see if you can guess who it was. He played for the Detroit Pistons. He dated Madonna. He was married to Carmen Electra. He wrestled alongside Hulk Hogan. Jacqui.
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman,
Wow.
the Worm.
So much for listening to the whole damn question.
Well, she didn't need the rest of it, Carlos.
Yeah.
She didn't need the rest of it.
Man.
God.
Schooled on
All
sports.
right.
Carlos, we
Trivia.
do a do-over at some point.
Um,
Rematch.
trivia.
Carlos doesn't have a drink.
That's
No, that's probably what it is.
He's not
True.
playing by the rules. He doesn't have a cocktail. You know what? For grins and giggles, Jacqui, I told you I wanted to have a conversation about our guilty pleasures. We share a guilty pleasure, Carlos. I don't know if you ever knew this. Jacqui and I are huge fans of the McRib. Jacqui has actually sent me a map of the United States that shows when the McRib is available in different parts of our country. This is Jacqui, the #1 in her class graduate from the Culinary Institute of America.
Yes.
And you
And,
drag her down into your trashy taste.
Well, you know what? We're just going to let it all fly right now. It is the VooDoo Chef podcast. Jacqui, what are your other guilty fast food pleasures? Because you used to live on the road.
Yes. I can think of another that we tried together, which
Oh
was
my
when
God, for the first time.
we left class specifically to go get one
Wait,
KFC double downs.
we did not skip school. We did not leave
No.
and just walk out to go try the KFC double down.
Oh,
But it was
man.
fucking amazing.
Shit.
Yes, fast food guilty pleasures. My gosh, there's a lot. I mean, I got to think of. I haven't been out and about in a while now. But I like anything that's sort of an LTO, like a limited time offer. So I will get jazzed up for like Shamrock Shakes or anything else that's coming out that's like exclusive, so that I will try and get to it. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that's kind of come out recently.
I had a buddy of mine works in industry, a chef, text me today and said, "Hey, we're going out for dinner. Can you recommend any place?" I'm like, "Dude, wrong guy. Wrong guy." I said, "I am a junk food junkie. If they got nachos on the menu, I'm going." You know, every time my daughter will make me nachos randomly, and I'll post the picture. I'll say, "Well, after all, it is Friday, and it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. The nachos go up." But Carlos, you and I share some guilty pleasures too, starting with those Cisco all-meat meatballs.
God.
Oh.
I mean, we can't have those on a menu anywhere because we'll just order the Cisco all-meat meatballs and eat them all.
It's true. Doesn't matter what they're on or in.
But it's a true statement. It does not matter. But you know,
Oh,
So good.
exactly.
And you know what it is? It's not, there's nothing on, like, in stock.
I just think it's the fucking salt content that does it.
There's something delicious about them, and I don't know what it is anymore. They're still good.
But I got to tell you guys, let me tell you about one of our go-tos back in the day. I don't know why the fuck we would stay after school. Who the fuck cared? We'd be after school, you know, doing some shit, pretending like we were important, and we'd have to eat. And this goes all the way back to Hillsborough High School. So we're talking like 2000. Am I right? Am I close? 2001, Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so we would order from a restaurant called Ybor City Pizza. Shit wasn't even in fucking Ybor. It was in Seminole Heights. And it was just like this scary ass fucking place owned by a biker. I don't even know how I got turned on to it. But we'd get pizza and wings. And you would take the pizza and just dredge it through the greasy ass fucking wing shit.
Oh,
You can't even call it sauce. I just think the guy took some fucking guy number 5 and put it in the fry oil. And we would just rub our shit through there and then dip the pizza in the blue cheese. I think we took 5 years off our life by eating that shit, man. I think that might have caused diabetes.
20.
I became diabetic shortly after that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say,
remember
I'm
what
sorry.
you
My apologies. You should sue the school district on my behalf.
I
Seriously.
remember what you ate at the Bucks games.
Oh my god.
Fucking pulled pork over mac and cheese with jalapenos and onions and Fritos on top.
Yeah.
So
Dude.
Eddie C got us gigs working the sidelines at the Bucks game, right? And Ed would like rip people's ass to go do shit, and we'd be standing behind Ed going, "Dude, can we go eat yet?" And we'd go up to the clubhouse or the press room, whatever the fuck it's called, and eat off the buffet and like hope we don't get in trouble and shit. And if we did, we were all just gonna say, "Well, Ed told us it was okay." It was horrible, Jacqui. It was like eating McRibs and Double Downs.
Yes.
That does not sound like a bad time to me. That's all I'm saying.
No, and it was free.
And that's the best part.
In.
That's the best part. Hey guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys coming on the Voodoo Chef podcast. You guys both have a very special place with me, and I hope you know that. And I'm honored that you came on to chat with us tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
It
you.
was a
Feeling
pleasure.
is beautiful. Big
Hey, you know what? Until we break that record, we'll catch you next time.
And there you have it, Voodies, another episode of the Voodoo Chef podcast. Let's give a big shout out to everyone involved with Voodoo Chef and all things voodoo, starting with Woostoff Knives, the official knife of the Voodoo Chef. And jamming up and down the streets of all Ybor City and Tampa Bay, Ragged Old Souls. Thanks for letting me jam with you guys. And when those amps are cranking, the turntables are definitely spinning thanks to the official DJ of the Voodoo Chef, DJ Don Pablo. Check him out spinning all across town, most importantly, at all Voodoo Chef events. Speaking of events, getting ready for yours? Check out Voodoo Chef Catering, custom created events for every shape and size. Log on to VoodooChefCatering.com to get your information today. A great big shout out to all my Voodies that are in the Voodoo crew. Thank you for your support. And of course, we could not do what we do in the crew without all of our crew sponsors. First Watch, Chef Shane Shively, thank you for believing in our mission. And of course, we can't forget VooDoo Mortgage. For all your mortgage needs, check them out at VooDooMortgage.com. Alessi Bakery, a Tampa staple. Drop in and check them out today. And our newest sponsor, Twisted South Food Truck. Chef Adam Jessup, thank you for what you do. And of course, all things voodoo are in support of the Voodoo Chef Foundation, providing culinary scholarship and feeding those in need. To find out more information or make a donation yourself, log on to VoodooChefFoundation.com today.